All righty, I think we gave enough time for everyone to join. So welcome everyone. I would like to, excuse me, I would like to introduce you guys and thank you for coming in. Good evening. We're here today for the Enhance Your Professional Skills with Dress for Success. We're glad to have you here for the Parent Empowerment Day. For those that want to hear the workshop in Spanish, you can select the interpreter feature on the Zoom on your docs below. I am happy to introduce this Dress for Success workshop put on by Carrie Weber. Carrie has had the good fortune to play key roles in the music industry, as well in corporate and nonprofit spaces. Carrie is a branch manager at Dress for Success, the only global organization providing women free resources to navigate the world of work and to get on the path of economic independence. This workshop will provide parents with professional development resources, career coaching, virtual styling, and assist with job search. Let's all give her a warm virtual welcome.
Great. Thank you so much, Gerard. I appreciate the introduction and welcome everybody. I'm really happy to be here to talk to you about what Dress for Success has to offer. And so once Leandre is ready to take down these slides, I'll be able to share my screen and show our slides. In the meantime, I can tell you a little bit about me and why I'm the person here talking to you. So as branch manager, I have four main responsibilities in my job, and that is as person in charge of operations. So managing our boutique, making sure it's a safe, healthy, and clean and positive place for staff, clients, and volunteers. I also oversee our volunteers and volunteer management. We're a really lean team here in LA. There's just 4 of us. And so we really rely on our volunteers to help serve the women of LA. I also am the program manager. So what that means is strategic planning for the programs that we're offering to women via our individual services and our workshops, kind of making sure the calendar is full of content that is relevant and timely for the women. And then the last part of my role, which is why I'm here today or why they knew of me to invite me, is that I'm responsible for community and referral partner relationships. So working with organizations like Crystal Stairs to serve the women of Los Angeles. And so with that, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to walk through a little presentation that talks about our programs. And I'll be pausing at different points to allow you to ask questions if you have them. And I know that Gerard and Rosario are keeping an eye on the chat and they'll let me know if anything comes up. So without further ado, let's talk about Dress for Success. And I'm going to start first with just a little information about the organization if you're not real familiar with us. So as Gerard said in the opening or in my introduction, we are the only free global employment resource for women. So there's 140 locations around the globe in about 25 different countries. And so what do we do? You know, as the slide says, we keep women moving forward with relevant and timely training sessions, integration into diverse professional network. We offer career coaching, access to professional attire, and more. And you'll learn a little bit about what that more is. You know, we've got an online community. We also offer workshops and different services. And so, you know, our approach really is to democratize networking. And what that means and what we mean by that is that so that all women can access the content that we're providing, that there's no barriers for any particular woman to get to what we're offering. And so our evidence-based content helps lead women to career milestones such as getting hired, getting promoted, getting a raise, or increasing their financial knowledge. And while we are working to get women on that path to economic independence, our primary outcome is really to help create that community of support, and that you get by joining a network of support. Because we all know having that network, having that community of women to lean on, to ask for support, and then being there for them is really important and really, really helpful. And so a little bit about Dress for Success. So in the about 25 years since 1996, since Dress for Success was launched in the basement of a building in New York City, we have served 1.2 million women globally. And here in Los Angeles, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary and we have served 15,000 women. And in these next 3 bullet points, this is numbers and statistics that we got from surveying women. And you can see that 65% of the participants in our programming for job seekers have secured a job, an internship, or went on to that entrepreneurial opportunity that they were looking for. And 94% of our participants say they have increased their personal and emergency savings after completing our signature financial education program, which I will talk about in a little bit. And then we're really proud of the fact that 96% of the women would recommend Dress for Success programs to another woman. So, as I'm sure that or maybe you have experienced, it's much harder for women to find jobs than it is for men. And oftentimes when women do find jobs, they face gender-specific challenges, which may prevent their personal and professional advancement. And when you add in socioeconomic status, that could exacerbate and exaggerate the obstacles, with the most vulnerable women struggling to access the support network and learning opportunities they need to navigate the world of work. That's where we come in, where we're working to democratize the ability to network and access this information. So what are we doing and how are we providing information and these skills to women? So we listen to the women, excuse me, and we design services based on what they tell us they need and what their challenges are. Working with women, whether she's a job seeker or an employed professional. So what's a job seeker to us? So a job seeker is a woman who maybe is in a career kickstart. Maybe she hasn't had a job before and she's looking for one for the very first time. Or maybe she's a woman who's in a career relaunch. So maybe she had stepped away from the workplace to take care of children or to take care of elderly parents. Or over this last year, maybe, just due to the pandemic and everything and all the circumstances that came together with that, maybe she had to step away from work. So what is it that you need help with to get your foot in that door? It's the resume, it's the communication skills, it's information on how to conduct an online job search. And then we also work with women who are professionals. And these are the women that are already working, looking for that next opportunity, that progression in their current job, their current company, or maybe looking to get to a higher level position at a different company. So what are the 21st century skills that they need to become successful in work and life and progress as leaders in their community? So we listen to their challenges and then kind of how do we formulate these and how do we put them into programs for women and how do we provide this to them? So here are these 5 pillars of learning that we really follow. So as I mentioned, career kickstart, there might be a woman who is just starting out. So we work to provide the communications and coaching that these job seekers need to succeed in an online job search and interview process. Because if you haven't looked for a job recently, maybe you're not familiar with all the new platforms for an online job search, because we all know technology changes at lightning speed. So what are the new ways to search for a job? And interviews are essentially, for the most part, virtual right now. So if you haven't had a virtual interview, how can we help you prepare for that? The woman that is in the career relaunch. So giving guidance and reskilling them, what skills did they have before? What was the type of work that they did before? And how can we help get them back to the level and transitioning into that new job, whether it be from the coronavirus disruption or some other disruption or kind of pause in their life that kept them from being, in the workplace for a little bit. We also focus on 21st century skills. And so what that means is, what does the world of work look like for a woman? Kind of what traditional jobs were for women, or we're seeing those change. So what are the digital skills that she might need? What are the communication skills? What are the collaboration skills, especially now in this time of virtual work where you're not, sitting next to somebody in an office, or you can't walk down the hallway to talk to them. Personal growth is another one of our pillars. And so, we have this section here to complement all the strategic, more tactical things for getting that job. So meditation, yoga, how can we help reduce your stress and anxiety? How can we help with your mindset to help you feel really confident and at your best for when you're applying for that job? And then the last pillar is financial education. Oftentimes women are the head of the households, or they bear the responsibility of the work and the childcare and supporting everybody. And so how can we teach them the skills they need for setting up that emergency fund or really getting in a good savings habit? And we all know that, finances, like everything else, kind of could have potentially gone sideways with the pandemic. There were so many different changes. Did, your job go away, or did they have to reduce salary? So how do you manage those situations? So we want to help you with that and help get you on the path to economic independence. And so I'm going to go next into the types of programs that we're offering, but I want to pause there just to see if there's any general questions about Dress for Success and how we're serving the women of Los Angeles.
Hi, Carrie. So at the moment, we do not have any questions. I would like to take the opportunity to welcome everybody to just go to the chat feature at the bottom of your screen and type in any question that you have so that we can answer it for you.
Great. Thanks, Rosario. So we have individual services of career coaching and styling, and everything is virtual right now because of the pandemic. And then we also have group services of our workshops and our online community. And I'll be walking you through each of these opportunities. So virtual career coaching. So this is where you can have a 30 to 45 minute appointment one-on-one with a career coach. And the career coach can help you by providing guidance on the topics listed here on the page. So let's say you're a woman who is looking for your very first job, or you are a woman who is transitioning from one industry to the next. And maybe you're not sure if you've got skills that are transferable, because I'm going from working at a restaurant to an office. How do I get a job at an office if I've never worked at one before? So the career coach can help you find those transferable skills. They'll talk to you about, well, what type of responsibilities did you have, and how that can be presented to be something that would be attractive to a hiring manager at a restaurant. If you've never had a job before and you don't have a resume, the career coach is going to talk to you about, what do your friends come to you about? What do your family members come to you about? What type of advice do you give? Do you have children? What do you do to manage your household? What skills do you use to take care of your children? All really relevant transferable skills that maybe you wouldn't have thought to put on your resume, but the coach can help get that out of you and help you write it. And then when you get to the point of applying for a job, the career coach can also help you draft that cover letter, which oftentimes can be the thing that helps get your resume to the top of the stack and can grab the attention of the hiring manager. So the career coach can also help you navigate your job search. So again, if you are someone that hasn't searched for a job in a long time, you might not know what are the best websites or platforms to use, or maybe you've never done an online job search. They can help you navigate that as well, kind of letting you know the best resources, how to submit resumes and cover letters. And I'll just add, these two bullet points obviously go very closely together. They can also talk to you about how your resume, which you may or may not know, is oftentimes read by a computer first. It's called an applicant tracking system. And this applicant tracking system is looking for keywords. So you want to make sure that your resume is showing keywords that are in the job description. So once your resume is done and polished and you're feeling really good about it, and you start applying for jobs, as I'll talk about later, you can book a follow-up appointment. And so you can talk to that career coach about, this is the job description of what I want to apply for. How does my resume look for that? Because otherwise you might have all the skills, but if you haven't made it easy for the hiring manager or for that algorithm, you might get passed over. So another thing that the career coach can help you with is interviewing. And, as I said just a few minutes ago, maybe you've never done a virtual interview, so they can help you get set up. What's your background look like? What does your outfit look like? What does your lighting look like? Also, just practicing questions. They can run you through a whole interview process, or maybe there's just one question you want to practice over and over again because you feel like it's the one that always trips you up. and stresses you out, they will work with you on that to give you the confidence that you need to answer it. They can also work with you on your elevator pitch. So when someone says, well, tell me about yourself, what's that, 2 to 5 sentence, 30-second pitch that you can say about yourself? They can help you put that together. So they can also just talk to you about general career guidance. We saw a lot of women booking appointments last year that didn't necessarily have a specific question, just things were so uncertain. They wanted to know, how do I prepare for something happening to my job? Or how do I prepare, for a layoff, and what's the timing of looking for a new job and how should I approach that? So you can also just, if you have general career questions, you can book an appointment. So any woman can book an appointment with a career coach. It's a free service. All of our services and programs are free. And when I say any woman, I mean any person identifying as a woman can sign up and participate in our programs. So follow-up appointments are available. Our volunteers are really how we reach as many women as we do in Los Angeles. And we're really fortunate to have so many volunteers kind of at the ready to support our programs and the women we serve. So if you are someone that is just starting off on drafting a resume, or you're someone that is career transitioning and you need to kind of rehaul your resume, don't worry. You don't have to have just one appointment and then hope you got the notes right and then be like, okay, it's done. We can book you with that same coach or another coach. We like to pair up this, if you and the coach got along, we like to pair you up for follow-ups because you already have that relationship started. But you can have 2 or 3 conversations with them to make sure you're feeling really good about your resume, your cover letter, your interview skills, so that when it comes time for your interview, you feel really confident and you're going to knock it out of the park. And I will say our coaches love participating in coaching appointments and helping and supporting women, especially when we hear back that the woman has gotten a job. A recent client had, I think, a couple appointments with one of our coaches. She was getting her resume in order and she wanted some support on her interviewing. And she wrote the coach back and let her know that she had applied to jobs. She'd heard back from 3 of them. She got interviews with all 3 of them and she got 2 job offers. And so that is the best news ever. We love hearing that. And that really shows you that 1 to 3 or however many appointments you have with a career coach can really help support your efforts for your job search. And no referral is needed. You can sign up all on your own for one of these appointments, and there'll be information at the end that I'll show you how you can do that. So that's career coaching, and I'll pause there to see if there's any questions about this opportunity.
Carrie, there was one question asking if the programs are only offered in English.
That's a great question. So we do have Spanish speaking volunteers. And so when you request an appointment, as we're coordinating with the volunteer, if you just raise your hand and let us know you need a Spanish speaking volunteer, we can help pair you with someone.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if any career coaching questions come to mind for you when I'm on other sections, please feel free to pop those into the chat. Happy to answer those all along the way. So next, we're going to talk about virtual styling and confidence kits. So as I mentioned, we've been remote for the past year. So we're not in person. We're not able to suit women in person. And honestly, we haven't been able to provide any professional attire since last March. So now that numbers with the pandemic and the virus are trending in a good direction, and it's safer for us to go into the office on a somewhat kind of scarce basis. We're not all there at the same time. It's kind of one-on-one as need arise. We have launched our confidence kits. And what that means is that's our effort. When our boutiques are not available, we know that professional attire is still key to feeling confident in nailing that interview and feeling really great as you go into that new job. So how this works is you book a one-on-one appointment with a virtual stylist. That stylist is going to speak with you about what's your employment milestone. Are you getting ready for an interview? Or are you starting in a new job? If you're starting a new job, is it in an office setting? Is it kind of more business professional, or is it business casual? Or are you working a frontline job? So, more chinos or jeans are going to be appropriate for your position. So she'll find all that out from you. She'll also talk to you about what your style preferences are and what your sizes are. And then based on that conversation, we get that information, and, on the back end, we're going to go into the office and we're going to put together a customized kit for you. We call this a confidence kit. So it's going to have the clothing, the accessories, all the things that you need to put your best foot forward. And then, as it says, with a quick and easy 5-minute visit, you would come by our office and pick it up from our program coordinator, Michelle, in a safe manner. Now, I will say, since we're not seeing you in person, and since the stylist is just seeing you on a computer, we are going to make our best effort to find clothes that fit you. And since we all know that a size 8 in one brand might fit you great, but in this other brand, it's the size 10 that fits you great, we're going to put in a couple different sizes of pants. We're going to put in a couple different sizes of shirts, and because we want to have a variety there for you so that hopefully something works out for you. And if anything doesn't work for you, we just ask that you pay it forward and share it with family or friends that might be able to use the clothes. So again, with this, any woman can book a virtual styling appointment. And let me actually call out here that for the virtual styling, as well as for the career coaching, we do it on our Zoom platform. However, if you don't have access to a computer or a phone with a camera, or you don't have stable internet, we can have these appointments with you via a phone call. And that's something that will get confirmed in the confirmation process of booking your appointment. So any woman can book a virtual styling appointment. You don't have to have an interview booked. Just if you are a woman who is in the job searching process, or thinks, I need to start looking for a job, or I want to interview for that next position, we want to help you. We want to take that stress away of, I'm job searching, but I don't have an interview outfit. You can book your appointment, have that interview outfit ready, know that you're going to look great and you're going to feel great, and then go into your job search just feeling confident that you've got that box checked off. And again, for this, no referral is needed. You simply sign up on your own and request an appointment. So that is virtual styling and confidence kits. Do we have any questions about those before I move on?
There were a couple questions asking for a website, but we were able to post the website on the chat, and there was a question about how to enroll.
Okay, so I think it's the next slide. Yes, how to book an appointment. And in the first session, someone asked a really great question of, how do I qualify? Well, if you are a woman, or you're a person that identifies as a woman and you're 18 years or older, you can participate in any and all of our programs, and they all are free. And so to book an appointment for career coaching or for styling, it's a couple of different ways. So you can go to our website, and then you navigate to the Get Involved in the Events page, and you'll see the career coaching option there. And just a note, the same link is used for career coaching and styling. Our website needs to be updated to show the specific styling link. But if you're so excited to book this, you get off this webinar and you go to our website, just know if you click on career coaching, you'll be able to book a styling appointment. So you're going to click on that link, and you're going to fill out a really short Google form just with some basic contact information and some other questions requesting an appointment. Once you've submitted that Google form, you're going to get a little window that says, thank you for requesting an appointment. I'm paraphrasing here. Also in that box, there's going to be links for you to click on that takes you to Calendly, which is our online calendar platform. So right there at that same time, you'll be able to pick your day and time for your appointment. Once you've done that, it drops into us, and then Michelle, our program coordinator, will reach out to you to say, hi, thank you so much. We saw that you requested a styling or a career coaching appointment. We'll be in touch soon. They just need to coordinate with the volunteer. Then you'll be connected with the volunteer, and then it will be up to you two to have your appointment. If you want to follow up, you can let us know and we can work on getting that booked. I also should say too, you can have career coaching and styling. You're not limited to one or the other. We can support you with multiple career coaching appointments. We can support you with a styling and a confidence kit appointment. So it's super quick and easy to book an appointment. And usually the appointments sometimes you can get the same week, sometimes it's the next week. I think even if you're looking farther out, our settings are such that you could book it a couple weeks out. So that's how to book an appointment. You'll see here on number 1 that there's also a link in the Dress for Success handout. That's something that you're going to get from the folks at Crystal Stairs. I'm not sure when it's going to go out to you, but after I finish this presentation, I'm going to show you what that document looks like and how the embedded links work. So now we're going to talk about virtual workshops. So these are our group activities. So this is where you're going to be in a virtual room with lots of other women, learning about all different types of things and all different types of topics, right, that fall under those 5 pillars that I talked about earlier. So when the pandemic hit and we switched to virtual, which we did within a week, which we're really proud of, we didn't miss a beat in serving women. We had in person, the week or 2 before, and then went straight to virtual the following week, both the career coaching and the workshops. So now all of a sudden everybody's remote. How do you work remote? How do you set boundaries? How do you still have self-care? How do you network with the manager whose department you wanted to work in? So we had a lot of workshops about adjusting to the remote world of work. And we still do some on these, but we really focus on a lot of other categories too, such as some very tactical strategic workshops on resume writing and job search strategies. In particular, we take advantage of our partnership with Grow with Google. We are a Google community partner, and that means we get to use the content in the decks they've put together. So their team has researched and crunched the data, gotten the information all together, and we can present their information to you. And there's several that we present. There's one on Power Up Your Job Search, and it's all about how to track your job search. Because if you are looking for a job, that is a full-time job. How are you tracking which ones you've applied for? What's the salary range on it? What resume did you use for it? Because you might have different resumes for different types of positions. We also have a Grow with Google workshop on strategies for resume writing. What's the way to make your resume stand out? We have one that we're going to offer on digital skills, for everyday use. And so the other great thing about being a partner with Grow with Google is that in February, they launched this new initiative called Grow with Google Black Women Lead. And this is where they are working to serve 100,000 Black women who are job seekers by May of 2022. So Dress for Success is one of a handful of companies they're partnering with on this initiative. They're also working with some of the sororities from the Divine Nine. They're working with the Links. And so we're really proud to be a part of this. And so you can find the Grow with Google workshops, as all of our workshops, in our website. So, we have workshops that are group settings where you might hear a presenter walk you through a deck and give you information. We also have some that are really interactive. And a great example of an interactive one is our mock interview sessions. I mean, who doesn't get nervous getting ready for an interview, especially a virtual one if you haven't done it before? So these mock interview sessions is where we have a group of women, about 10 to 15, and we have a group of volunteers. And we'll all be in the main room together, and sometimes we have a recruiter there from a company who might talk about how to prepare for your interview, things to think about, what your background should look like. And then you're going to go off into a breakout room and you're going to have an opportunity to interview one-on-one with somebody who's going to give you tips and tricks and strategies and feedback on how you did and how you can improve parts of your interview process that you should keep because you nailed it. And then we're all to come back into that main room and talk about what you've learned, the feedback that you got that was useful because maybe it was something you hadn't thought of. An example I can think of is in one of our recent mock interview sessions, a woman didn't realize how much she used filler words like and 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 she, even when she was talking to about that, she was using it a lot. So it could be something that you're not even aware of that could make the difference in your interview. So we also have really great workshops under that personal growth category about mindset and mindfulness in a career journey, right? So what are those things that help you as a human being that pair well with the very strategic resume or mock interview ones? And so an example of mindset would be the one that we've got coming up on May 5th on flip the script on your inner critic. So have you ever thought about, well, I want to apply for that job, or I want to do that, or I want to go for that promotion, but then you have this negative self-talk that keeps you from doing it? That's your inner critic, right? So this workshop is going to talk about how do you identify that? How do you squash it? How do you get your superpowers and your strength to shine more than this voice that's telling you you can't? We also have workshops on for the mindfulness and for stress management. We've offered yoga, we've offered meditation. We've got a meditation one coming up on May 12th. We've had creative workshops that help you express your uncertainty and your stress and your anxiety. So those are really nice too. We also had one at the end of last year with a licensed clinical social worker, where she talked about change and emotion and mental health ahead of the holidays, because I'm pretty sure everybody's holidays were slightly different last year due to the pandemic. And so that was a really great workshop. And she really provided some great information. So we really enjoy the opportunity to have such a mix of what we're offering out in terms of like content and topics, because all of these things are relevant to you to help you feel successful and to help you thrive both personally and professionally. So managing finances. So yes, one of our pillars that's very important. And we have cohorts of financial education. We also have one-off workshops. So what do I mean by a cohort? So last week we launched our first cohort of financial education with Capital One in collaboration with them. They're one of our really great partners. So this is a 6-week course. It meets 1 day a week for 2 hours. The Capital One Cafe employees are the ones who teach the curriculum and walk you through a variety of topics from savings to debt, credit, online banking and online banking security. So it's a really robust program. This year, Capital One is partnered with Saver Life and offering this really great program to the Dress for Success women that are part of the financial education cohort. And Saver Life is a platform that helps you build saving practices. So how that works is if a woman is in the cohort right now, and we do have a second cohort that's going to be later this year, if you save a minimum of $10, a maximum of $40 a month over the 5-month period, you're going to get matched dollar for dollar. So if you're saving $40 a month, at the end of the 5 months, you're going to get a $50 bonus because you signed up for it and you're teaching yourself new habits, and you're going to get matched dollar for dollar. So that means you're going to get $200 matched. So you're going to walk away with $250 and you've already saved $200, which means there you go. You have an emergency fund now of $450. So that's really cool. So that one has already started. So that's not open, but we are going to offer it again in the fall. The dates are to be confirmed. Now, when we're not offering this great cohort, we do have one-off financial workshops where you can, excuse me, learn about kind of financial mindsets. What are your triggers? How do you think about money? So all of our financial workshops are beneficial. We had a fireside chat with a certified financial planner last month, and she answered some really great questions and talked about just money in general, and why is money a topic that feels taboo for women to talk about, and why it shouldn't be. And she talked about the pay gap. She talked about the wealth gap. And women, we had canned questions that we asked, but the women on the call had really insightful, really great questions, and interacted with each other and interacted with our guest. I talked about our stress management workshops a little bit when I was talking about mindset and mindfulness. So again, we offer breath work or yoga, meditation, all kinds of opportunities. And then this year we've just started, having fun activities. So in February, we had a Valentine's Day workshop where we built these little felt hearts with rice and an essential oil. Now, this was a collaboration with the New York and Chicago Dress for Successes, and it gets cold there. So they were going to use theirs as hand warmers. It doesn't really get that cold here in LA unless maybe you've gone up to the mountains. So we could use ours as drawer sachets. And the fun activities, like it's just fun to get together and have community and be with women. We were sitting in this virtual circle crafting and laughing and looking at each other's success, or maybe not, perfect is not fun. So everyone's sewing looked good, but it was just fun to have everybody share and kind of, one lady didn't end up having felt, so she used a sock, and at the end of it, she had this really great looking stuffed sock. So we've got another fun one coming up next month on, I think it's called Simple Stitches and Fixes. So this creative director from the fashion industry is joining us, and she's going to talk about how can you hem your own pants? How do you de-pill a sweater? How can you use safety pins? And so there again, maybe you're not learning a skill or a strategy for your job search, but you're having time and community with other women, and you do start to see the same women over and over in workshops, and it's really nice to kind of build that community. And again, any woman can participate in our workshops, and they're absolutely free. And I'm just going to quickly talk about how you can find them, and then I'll see if there's any questions about them. So you can, again, go to our website, worldwidewest.dressforsuccess.org, navigate to the Get Involved page, and then click on Events. You are going to see a list of all of our workshops. We do all of our workshops on Zoom. So you would just click the registration button, you would sign up, and then once you're registered, you're going to receive the confirmation with the link to use. Our workshops are all 60 minutes, and we try to hold to that to respect everybody's time. Sometimes they do go a little over. If it's a really robust conversation, we don't want to just cut it off. But they're really great and they're really fun. I feel really fortunate that I'm on most of them, helping to facilitate them, because I walk away from all of them with either an aha moment or a new skill or a new little bit of information. And I love seeing some of the same women over and over and having kind of sidebar conversations with them. So with that, I'll pause to see if there's any questions about our workshops.
We had a question about styling sessions. The first one, is there a limit to the styling sessions, and can you utilize the services for multiple job interviews?
That's a great question. So with the styling, we do ask for styling and confidence kit. That would be one appointment, right? Because we have limited inventory and we want to be able to serve as many women as possible. And so but when you get the job, you can come back and you can get more clothing for your job. For the part of the question that was about, can you get multiple outfits for different interviews? What we always did in person, which we also try to do with these confidence kits, is that if you're interviewing, we're going to try to get you a black blazer, right? Or some type of blazer. We're going to give you a couple different types of shirts so that you have different interview looks, but you wouldn't have a different appointment for every interview that you book. So the last opportunity to kind of have community with us and really be a part of Dress for Success is this online community that we launched in February. And I'm just going to read what it says on the page. In this space, we bring together women to share their time, talent, and experiences so that we can navigate the gender-based challenges in the world of work and achieve milestones like getting hired, getting promoted, getting a raise, or increasing financial knowledge. So this online community really is special. I mean, think of it as akin to Facebook, where you're going to see a feed of women making comments and asking questions. It's global. So you're going to see women from the Mongolia Dress for Success, or one of the European Dress for Successes, or any number of the Dress for Successes around the United States. And, there's women that post that they just got a job offer, so they're hoping for good energy and good vibes. There could be women talking about what their experience in the job search process is like, and has anybody experienced this, and do you have tips for me? So it's really supportive. It's really nice. And if you are into social media platforms such as this, or if you want to increase your community of women, I really recommend joining it. You can join by signing up at this link. There's also an active link in the handout that you're going to receive. So that's the end of this presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so I can go to the next document to show you. So this is the handout that you're going to receive from Crystal Stairs. And this is going to walk you through everything that I just talked about. You'll have it right in front of you. So it's going to talk about virtual career coaching. And you can see here, there's a link, which I'll click on it at the end of this to show you the form it takes you to. It's going to talk to you about the career coaching, how to book an appointment. It's going to walk you through the virtual styling and the link to sign up. And a couple of things I forgot to mention when we were on that slide, with the virtual styling, you're not able to try it on. So we do our best. And unfortunately, we can't take returns or exchanges. That's why we ask that you pay it forward if something doesn't work for you. And again, let me just reiterate, if you don't have stable internet or access to a computer or a phone with a camera, we can do the conversations over the phone. You're also going to see information here about our workshops, and there's a link that'll take you to our website so you can sign up. And then there's information on the Capital One Financial Education cohort. So the first one is already in process. It started last week. We have this link here where you can pre-register. So if this sounds like something that's of interest to you, the next one's going to be in the fall at some point. We don't have the dates yet, but if you sign up and just show your interest, once we have a date, we'll circle back with you and let you know when it's coming up to see if it's taking place on a day and a time that works for your schedule. There's also a little bit here about our partnership with Grow with Google and the Black Women Lead Initiative. There's another link to our website. The Grow with Google workshops are listed there, just as everything else. And then last but not least, we've got a little blurb here about our online community. And there's a link here that you can click. That'll take you straight to the sign up. And let me just take you back up here. So let's say you want to book a career coaching appointment and you have this PDF in your inbox and you're looking at it. You just have to click on this link. It's going to take you straight to this Google form. There's just a handful of questions for you to fill out.
Okay, so thank you so much, Carrie. Wonderful presentation. And thank you all for joining us today. That is all the time we have